So the Washington Commanders fall to 3-5 after suffering 28-7 defeat at the hands of the Kansas City Chiefs. This is my post-game thoughts and reaction, and also your phone calls. Let's talk about it.
Shout out to Juan Gotti talking sports. You know what it is.
Shout out Juan Gotti talking sports.
The way that we live is not for everybody.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career, and he's already milking injuries? Like,
stop saying my name, you dick riding bastard. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and Shawty is the winner. You can tell that Shawty love again now, she's confident.
All right, y'all. So we're here listening to your phone calls. Before we get into you guys' calls, we're just gonna recap the game a little bit more after having, a night to sleep on it. And truth be told, man, it doesn't make it any more easier than what we felt in the moment. Although you can sit here and I'll sit here and say to myself, like, I didn't expect to win that game yesterday. I thought the Chiefs was the better team. I thought they would end up beating us, but I say I wish it was in a fashion of a beatdown. Like, I wish we would have got blown out than the way we lost, truthfully, because when you look at the way we lost, it just goes to the simple fact that we're not good enough. We don't have the talent enough, and we're not well coached. Before we get any further into today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, SeatGeek. If you're trying to go to a game, concert, or any live event, SeatGeek is the place to go. I actually got my tickets for week 1 against the New York Giants using SeatGeek, and honestly, I use it for all my event purchases. What I love about SeatGeek is how simple it is to find the best deals. They rate every seat on a scale from green to red. Green means you're getting a great deal. Red means it's a little overpriced. That way you know you're buying with confidence and getting your money's worth. Plus, they even offer protection ticket plans so you don't have to worry about your tickets getting lost or stolen. And the best part about it all is they're hooking y'all up with the code. Use Juan Gotti at checkout and you'll get 10% off your first purchase. Again, use code Juan Gotti at checkout to get 10% off your first purchase. Dan Quinn, for me, is the only coach on this coaching staff that, in my opinion, gets it. And that's the only one that gets a pass for me. I love Dan Quinn. I think he's coaching his ass off. I think he is truly leading this group, and he's just not getting the response from the players. I think at this point you have to hold Adam Peters accountable for the roster that he put together. Can he evaluate talent? Yes, but in terms of roster construction, he did a piss poor job. We have to hold him to that account now, right? Like, in hindsight, you probably didn't want to invest so much into older players, right? Because you have the oldest team in the league by far, right? We already knew that. But then in terms of you having the oldest player, or excuse me, the oldest team in the league, you only have 5 draft picks, and the lack of young talent that you have not brought in over the first 2 drafts of your tenure here are showing. We don't have enough. And it's sad because I felt like yesterday Washington played well. I think that's why I say Dan Quinn, for me, he's good, right? He's not the issue because Dan Quinn said, we're going to respond. I want to challenge my team to go out there and play well and respond and let me know if my message is falling on deaf ears. The last time he said we had a great week of practice was the Chargers game. We came out there, even though we started slow, we ended up running away with the game and getting the victory. He said the same thing this week. We had a great week of practice. We came out there, instantly drove down the field. And had it not been for Debo Samuel having hands like a snake, we probably score, and I felt like that was the tone setter for the night because, again, when you're not a good team in terms of the opponent you're facing, when you're the inferior team, you cannot have those mistakes. And on the first drive, Washington turned the ball up. That's something that we can't do. When I say we had to be borderline perfect, we had to be borderline perfect to beat this Chiefs team. That was my expectation and my thought going into this game. Now, as the game went on and we actually strung together some turnovers, something that I didn't expect to happen, it kind of changed. It kind of gave us more life, more opportunities. But at some point, I kept saying to the chat, if you were watching live, I kept saying it, you're letting him hang around. Who is him? Patrick Mahomes. You're letting him hang around. The more and more times you continue to force him into turnovers, whether it's the interception by Marshawn Lattimore or it's the interception by Bobby Wagner, we did not capitalize off those opportunities. We had 0 points. 0 points. We had 7 points to show for the whole night. And mind you, first half, they could not stop us offensively. Offensively, they could not have stopped us. I felt like Marcus Mariota played his ass off yesterday. I don't care what no one says. Those 2 turnovers, not his fault. Last one, who gives a hell about the last one? But the interception, not his fault. He played his ass off. We going to blame Mariota for Sam Cosmi and miscommunication, not knowing to pick up the backer that was blitzing on a key 3rd down? Mariota was pissed. Mariota played his ass off. It's not his fault that the measurements are BS. Zach Ertz clearly got that first down to me, similar to the Steelers game last year. Right? Not his fault. Not his fault that we can't get the run game going. I really don't. What happened to this run game? What happened to Bill Murray for Rookie of the Week every week? Because he's supposed to be running his tail off. But instead, the run game has died out. It's stale. It's the same inside zone shit every week. It's the same thing. It's no end arounds for Bill. No getting them out in space. No swing passes. No run, but counter trays, tosses. Get them outside, like on the boundary in space. Like none of that. When it comes to the passing game, I felt like first half, Cliff was dialing it up. He was. Getting the ball out the hands of Mariota quick. Mariota making plays with his legs, extending plays, finding John Bates out of all people down the field. Finding Ben Sinnott out of all people down the field. Terry McLaurin had a solid day. And for everyone that wants to continue to harp on Terry McLaurin, I can't at this point blame you because Terry has not necessarily lived up to the standard. But yesterday showed you it's the difference when Terry McLaurin's out there, giving Trey McDuffie the business. So you can feel how you feel about Terry, and you're not wrong at this moment because, again, his stats has not backed up what he's done this year. But at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is Terry McLaurin is valuable to this offense, and he makes a true difference. In a night where Deebo Samuel was basically non-existent, Terry McLaurin stepped up. Whether it's the touchdown ball, whether it's the deep sideline pass, which the refs were horrible. Right, both catches they tried to. First of all, a touchdown catch is egregious. I don't understand. I don't understand how you sit here and got both feet in bounds, and you gotta decide to see if he got his feet down. Of course he did. Same with the one on the sideline, as I was told, and I don't know how the officials forgot, but one knee is as good as 2 feet. Of course, Terry had that catch. Know what I mean? Luke McCaffrey, the toe drag swag. Like, I felt like offensively, if there was one gripe for outside of the run game, I felt like we didn't test them vertically enough. We didn't test them middle of the field enough, as if we didn't trust Marcus Mariota to make throws to the middle of the field. It was always a screen left, a screen right. It was a read option keeper. It was a QB design run. Like, we made the game so simple for Mariota, which I felt like wasn't necessarily a bad idea, but in terms of wanting to get down the field, I felt like we could have took advantage of their cornerbacks. But then once Terry got hurt, it was a wrap for that, because again, we didn't have really no more vertical threats, and that goes back to the draft and goes back to free agency. We got more weapons in and Debo and Jalen Lane and stuff like that, but Luke McCaffrey, but we didn't get enough, in my opinion. Jalen Lane was drafted to be a punt returner. He's had some struggles and some inconsistencies with his hands at the receiver position. Yesterday, he had a key drop after, on that same very drive to start it off, he literally let the ball go out of bounds on the kick return. He let the ball go out of bounds on the kick return, had a brain fart, young fella making a mistake. But he had a chance to make amends, and he dropped the pass. Mind you, we started inside our own 2, and Mariota was driving down the field. Again, Mariota was not the issue yesterday. He played well enough for us to win that game. And it's unfortunate that we continue to turn over the ball. We continue to stall out and not capitalize off opportunities that we were creating defensively. Because at some point you knew Pat Mahomes was going to wake up. You knew at some point this defense was going to show. And I felt like as good as the defense was, Quan Martin was horrible yet again. Getting ran over on a key third down or a play that would have made it a key third down. You come down and you hit, is it Noah Gray? I think it was Noah Gray. Unnecessarily for no reason. A defensive receiver like Quan, what the hell are you doing? You had ample time to stop yourself. Right? That one, Johnny Newton, you get a sack on Pat Mahomes and you throw him to the ground, and you gotta know, especially when it comes to Pat Mahomes, they ain't letting that slide. Darnell Savage, whether you want to say it was an accident or it was forced by his calls and he meant to do that, he knocked that ball out. And instead of Marshawn Lattimore just falling onto the ball, he tries to scoop it up, pick it up, and score. And you see what happened. Chiefs have 8 fumbles this year, and they all went back into the possession of the Chiefs. I felt like Frankie Louisville looked lost out there. I don't know what's up with Oos, man. I really wish I had the answers. I can't tell you. I don't know what's up with him this year, man. I know a lot of people want to put the onus on Joe Witt, but I felt like yesterday, especially on the Pat Mahomes run, where he pump faked to the sideline and Oos just bit like no other and gave Mahomes the easy first down or close to. And it's like, you're the spy. Your sole purpose is to watch Patrick Mahomes. And I get it. It's probably easier said than done to not bite on a pump. But when you pump fake it towards the sideline, you got commander jerseys over there, and knowing even if he makes a pass over there, you're not going to be involved in the play. And also, you got the sideline as your friend, so you can push him out of bounds. You're the last line of defense, and you bite. Then you gave Mahomes a run. He did it again with Kelsey. In a play in which he had to decide to either go get Mahomes or leave Travis Kelsey for 30 yards on the field, he decides to go get Mahomes, and all Mahomes did was dump it over top of his head to a wide open Travis Kelsey. Like, again, at some point, he was going to wake up. At some point. The Chiefs team did not play that good. They just capitalized off a bad team. And it's frustrating. Because, again, had you told me this year would have went the way it has gone, I would not have believed you. 3-5, injuries galore. More injuries yesterday. Laramie Tunsil, don't expect to see him for the next month. Terry McLaurin re-aggravated the quad. Probably won't see him for the next couple of games. Like, Javon Kinlaw. Like, it's just, this year, it's just not our year, man. It's simply just not our year. And had you told me that in August, I wouldn't have believed you. But it is what it is, man. It's sad, but what can we do now? But listen to you all vent. So this is the time for you all to take over the show. If you guys want to be featured in the next call-in show, it is going to be after the Seahawks game on Sunday Night Football. Make sure you guys call into the number 240-804-7327, and you'll have your voice be heard. But let's get to the phone lines. Thank you for calling.
Yo, what's good, Juan? Hey, man, look, honestly, I'm not even really that mad. First half we came out swinging on defense, but a lot of people want to blame Cliff and a lot of people want to blame Joe Witt for the second half. And honestly, like, I've seen a lot of things that's like, man, on defense, we just watching, bro. We just watching Patrick Mahomes, man. We just watching him throw the ball, and that's one thing that's like, you can't blame Joe Witt for that, offensively, when we get turnovers like that, we got to convert, we have to score every time. So, I mean, I still have optimism. The good news is that it's an AFC team. So, got to win the next 2 games if we even want to have a shot. but you know, it's definitely still sucks watching this game, man. It's a hard pill to swallow, but I think we're gonna be all right. You know, a lot of people definitely upset, and I think a lot of that has to do with us making it all the way to the NFC Championship game last year, and I think that ruined it for a lot of our fans. You know, I've been watching since I was a kid, bro, and I'm 20 years old, so you know I've been through it. You know, you and me both, we both been through it. A lot of us have, but you know, you just gotta have more faith and, you know, seeing a lot of positives on defense. So that's always good. You know, we got a lot of speed out there, but yeah, just gotta continue to grow and learn from this, because I think we can actually produce turnovers each game and actually win. So that's the good news. But yeah, nah, I mean, I'm still disappointed though. So.
I mean, look, thank you for the call, first of all. We are ahead of schedule. You're right. I think last year's NFC Championship run expedited as a rebuild, a recalibration, for sure. But at the same time, I don't think any team could be prepared for what we have faced this year. And I don't want to come off as this as the only excuse, but literally this is literally diminished our season, literally ruined our season. You can't sit up here and tell me you have a healthy Jaden Daniels for the whole season. We're 3-5. You can't sit up here and tell me you have Dietrich Wise and you have Javonte, Jean-Baptiste, and Dorrance Armstrong healthy for the whole year. That doesn't make a difference defensively. You can't tell me having Will Hurst healthy doesn't make a difference. Austin Eckler healthy doesn't make a difference. So I am not going to just only blame injuries. But that literally ruined our season. We didn't have a chance from the start. Terry McLaurin being out 4 weeks. That ruins our season. Like, put us behind the 8 ball, I should say. And, yeah, some positives last night. Defensively, we played well. But, again, was it a shocker? Once you make changes, once you actually put guys out there that can move and get rid of Bobby Wagner. Love Bobby to death. Had a pick yesterday, but he cannot cover anybody. He's slow. He's old. Jordan McGee should be playing more than what he was. I still felt like it was key spots in which he should have been out there that Bobby Wagner was out there. So, yeah, it's nothing but learning and growth. You're right. But it still is a disappointing feeling that this team couldn't get it done, man. Especially after you've been clamoring for weeks to get turnovers, to help you have your defense have you make some stops or help you get some turnovers. They did that twice, really 3 times, but we couldn't fall on the ball the last time. But they forced 2 turnovers. You tell me you forced Patrick Mahomes into 2 turnovers before this game started, I think Washington has a good chance to win. I really do. And borderline, I say we probably do win, because who had that on their bingo card that we were going to force 2 turnovers on Patrick Mahomes yesterday? Thank you for the call, man. Really do appreciate you.
Yo, Juan, man, I already called in, but I just had to call in again, man. My bad, but shit. I mean, I'm just sitting here. I was thinking, you know, the Chiefs, they they beat the brakes off the Ravens when they had Lamar, when they were healthy. They beat the brakes off the Ravens, and I get it. We're not the Ravens. The Ravens been dealing with injuries, but you know, that was, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that was what, week 2? So, I mean, you know, there's some more optimism right there, you know, and we're getting pressure on Mahomes. It's just, you know, he's just a good quarterback. So I think going into Sunday and then the week after that when we play against Detroit, I think we can actually force a lot more pressure on Sam Darnold and Jared Goff. And I get, you know, those teams are very talented teams, but I think we can generate some turnovers and also generate, you know, negative yards for the offense, at least, you know, for their offense. And then, you know, hopefully everybody who was taken out of the game is okay. I think Terry's fine. I think they just pulled him out of the game because of the score, and, you know, they just realized we weren't going to win, so, you know, why make him go back out there and keep playing if he has a chance to get hurt? So, I mean, definitely a tough loss. And I already know social media, we're going to hear about it. but that was expected. So, again, like JD5, whenever he gets back, that'll also add more to our offense. And we just got to do a better job of capitalizing on those turnovers. I mean, if you think about it too, I mean, the game really should have been, at least 38-20, or 35-28. We had 2 interceptions, and then Lattimore, if he, tries to jump on the ball rather than pick it up and scoop and score, that's another turnover right there. So, I mean, overall, I think, Lattimore played a good game. Jordan McGee had a solid game. Martin played out of his mind, bro. And we can't deny that. So, I mean, we had some real good, plays on the defensive side of the ball. And then again, when it comes back to us capitalizing, Cliff, he dialed up, some pretty bad play calls. However, you being in that type of position, you have to capitalize, and Mariota definitely, let some of those go. And that's okay. It's not anything I'm going to be mad about, but definitely still have a lot of season left. And I think, seeing what we saw tonight, if we could keep that up on defense consistently through the second half.
Well, I love your optimism, man. I do. And I'm glad you brought up Jacob Martin. Jacob Martin played out of his mind yesterday. And I would love to see more of what Jacob Martin can be. With him having to be thrusted into the starting role, it really gets you to see a better look of him. But can you just imagine, I hate to bring this up, but just imagine if he was able to play the role that he was really brought in here to do. He wasn't supposed to be getting starter snaps. He was supposed to be coming in on key pass rushing downs. But now with the injury to Dorrance Armstrong, with the injury to Javonte James Baptiste, with the injury to the other defensive end, Dietrich Wise, if I didn't already say his name, we're decimated at that position. So we need him to step up, and he did yesterday. And to your point about the Seahawks, I feel good about the Seahawks game. I do. I felt like Marcus Mariota is able to go out there and win against Seattle. I felt like this was an encouraging game from the aspect of the defensively we showed up at times, and as you mentioned, got pressure on Mahomes and actually got into the ground a couple of times. I felt very confident in that aspect of things. The things that I don't feel confident about is the injuries. You feel like Terry McLaurin just got pulled. I heard him speaking to the postgame. He said he feels fine, but we'll see how it responds tomorrow, which is today. I don't feel comfortable about that. Laramie Tunsil being out, I don't feel comfortable about that. I think Brandon Coleman can step in and do a formidable job? Yes, but I don't feel comfortable with Laramie Tunsil being out. Javon Kinlaw, is that injury very severe? I'm not sure. We have to hear an update about it. That's an interior guy that we need, unless we want Zach Charbonnet and K9 to run all over us. So I love your optimism. If more fans was like that, like you are, and if I was like how you are, I probably would be at peace, which I'm not overly upset, but you bring the optimism that I needed to hear. You know what I'm saying? And other fans need to hear, because we're really at the point where we feel like this thing is pretty much done. But thanks for the call, man. I really do appreciate you.
Man, how y'all doing? How you doing, Juan, man?
I'm good.
I can't scream. I want to scream, but I can't scream, man. This defense played their heart out, man. They came out there. I didn't expect them to hold the Chiefs to only 7 points in the first half, but then the offense go and do that. Offense go out there, only score 7 points the whole game. We thought the offense was going to be the strong point of the game. Man, all of us is fucking fooled, man. We were so fooled. It's a joke, man. I mean, does anybody like Cliff anymore as our play caller? Seriously. He's too predictable sometimes, man. He don't use Terry enough. I mean, we paid the guy $30 million. We paid him top receiver money, and we don't use the motherfucker. I mean, how does that make sense, man? Yeah, he had 2-3 catches. What top receiver making $30 million only getting 3 fucking catches a game, man? I mean, it's just terrible, man. I mean, I don't know how our playoff hopes look after this loss, but hopefully, just maybe, we can have a chance. We go out there and beat Seattle. You know, just a low hope. We go out there and beat Seattle. Maybe we still have a chance to at least make the 7th seed, because at this point, division ain't fucking there. You ain't win the division, and you ain't getting the 5th or 6th seed. So maybe we go out there and win next week. Hopefully. No, hail, Commanders. Hope you have a great day, man.
Thank you for calling in, and I'm right there with you. I mean, you look at the top receivers in the league, Puka Nacua. You look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. You look at guys like so many top wide receiver ones that I can't even just name off the top of my head right now. But those guys, they get force-fed the ball. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Jackson Smith, and the Jigba. These guys, weekly basis, get 10, 11, 12 targets a game. And our guy has to be thrown the ball deep down the field in a jump ball scenario, and he has to hope and pray he comes down with it. No scheming him open, no screens for him, no slants, nothing to get him designed the football. We got to hope and pray Mariota just finds him down the field, or Jaden Daniels finds him down the field, and he makes a spectacular catch. I'm there with you. I'm right there with you. Now, in terms of getting tired of Cliff Kingsbury, I felt like he had actually a really good first half. I did. I felt like he schemed a lot of shit open. Second half, I for me, and I don't know if I'm the only one that feels like this, but the second half was a blur. Like, I can't remember nothing we did offensively, and that probably goes to your point of what the hell was the play call. Only thing I remember vividly from the second half was the Jalen Lane drop, the Jalen Lane, ball out of bounds on the kick return. The Mariota getting sacked on 3rd and 11 when Sam Cosmi blew an assignment. And, its second half was such a blur because we didn't get shit going. We had 7 points. Mind you, this offense, in my opinion, was moving the ball. First half. Mariota was playing well, and he played well enough for us to win. I will stand on that. We should have had a minimum 9 points. If you want to go with that, right, we should have had a minimum 9 points. We moved the ball down the field 3 times in the first half. All 3 of our possessions in the first half. Moved the ball down the field. Got in the scoring position. But you know what happened? We turned the ball over. You go 0 for 2 on 4th downs. On 4th and 6, I felt like Zach Ertz had the first down. 4th and 1, I felt like, I don't know what the play call was, but I felt like you should have ran there. Like, it was just missed opportunities. And when you're a bad team playing a really good team, you cannot afford to make those mistakes. So I'm right there with you, man. Frustrating, bro. Frustrating. Thank you for the call.
Yo, Juan. It's your boy Sean White, man.
What's up, Sean White?
It's looking like we back to being that team again, man.
Hi, man.
Quan Martin, where do I start? Quan Martin is so garbage, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I thought he was gonna be good this season. I don't know what happened. Jalen Lane, man, like, life's too bright for the rookie, man. It's too bright for him. It's just an undisciplined team, bro. Like, I really want to get back to the team that we were last year, bro, but, like, it's not looking too good, man. But as always, bro, your boy, raise hell.
Appreciate you, Sean White, man. Quan Martin definitely has been a disappointment, and I know a lot of fans have already came to the conclusion about Quan Martin prior to this year, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I fell for the banana in the tailpipe wholeheartedly. I let Joe Witt Jr. talk my head off about how good Quan Martin has been throughout the summer. He looked good in the preseason, especially making plays down by the goal line on the tight end. Open field tackle, broken up pass. So, okay, Quan might actually do something this year. And it's been nothing but disappointment. Poor tackling, dumb penalties, blown coverages. Like, it's a lot, man. It's frustrating, bro. I want to get back to last year too, man, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen, bro.
That was a tough watch, dog. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Definitely.
Man, defense actually forced 2 turnovers, bro. Hey, man, that is insane. That's crazy. We normally never force turnovers on defense, bro. Like, we came out hot, for real, for real. And then Devo, man, he made that play. Well, he made that mistake or whatever. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I was like, man, I'm not gonna lie. Right then and there when that happened, I was like, man, we can't be doing this with Kansas City because now they're gonna take advantage. And then I believe on the next drive, that's when Marshawn got the interception or whatever. Yeah, so the defense actually did all right today, bro. I'm just kind of more so mad at the offense because, you know, while I say with the defense has been more so like communication, safety's not in the right spots, whatever, but offense tonight was pretty horrible, man. Usually our offense give us a chance to win games, and they didn't do anything. I don't know what's going on with Bill. I don't know, like, is it, you know, maybe Chris is running to the outside? I don't know, man. You know, but it's just not, this offense, man, I don't know. They didn't look good tonight. And it's not like Kansas City had, like, this top world defense or nothing like that. So, I mean, it's a game that really, if the offense just win, if the offense played better, I think we win. Don't get me wrong. We had some kind of BS calls, too, you know, with the 4th and 1, and then can't remember the other call that had happened that didn't go our way, but there was a few calls that didn't go our way, you know, but overall, though, I feel like offense could have played way better because you're going into Kansas City. Not a lot of teams are going to hold Kansas City to like less than like 20 points, you know, less than 21 or less than 20. You know what I'm saying? It's just hard to do that. You got to score against these guys, you know, and you know what, man? I'm glad Dan Quinn went for them on 4th down. It was a good thing. I'm not even mad at Dan Quinn. It's just more so kind of like, I know the injuries are a big part, especially on defense, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like Cliff got to be better than that, man. And I hate, because I like Cliff, but a lot of that is on him this game, because that was just a bad, some of it, and then like the Jalen Lane catch, it's like, I like Jalen Lane as a punt returner, but he's not a good receiver. I'd rather throw it to Chris Moore instead of Jalen Lane, and that's crazy to say, considering the preseason that Chris Moore had, but overall, man, just a bad game on both sides. I'm not even mad at Dan Quinn. I'm happy with Dan Quinn as head coach, man. You know, defensive coordinator, they made some adjustments. He tried what he could. I'm surprised it helped him with 20.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, my guy. I'm not disappointed in Dan Quinn whatsoever. I think Dan Quinn is the only coach on this staff that gets it consistently throughout the day, again the season. I love what Cliff does in that first half. I disagree in terms of the offense being piss poor in the first half. I felt like they actually moved the ball. I just don't know what happened in the second half. I can't tell you. The run game was non-existent. We got away from it, though we didn't continue to try. Cliff with this screen, dink and dunk shit. J-Mac out the back. How many times did we see J-Mac swing pass, even though it was for positive gains? How many times did we see that yesterday? Like, I get it's not Jaden Daniels, but Mariota can make throws across the middle of the field. He can make decisions across the middle of the field. I felt like if we would have attacked this Chiefs defense vertically and down the field, we would have had more success. But you try to run screens and get out in space in terms of running east to west. You got Nick Bolton running around. You got Justin Watson running around. You got I forget his name off the top of my head, but they have a fast defense. Is essentially what I'm getting at. And they clearly do when Justin Watson literally almost intercepted the Luke McCaffrey screen. And that's the thing that I don't get. I thought screens are better off ran when you're motioning your guy in closer to the blockers and to the offense, not motioning them out. Cliff Kingsbury had Luke McCaffrey start in the slot, motion him all the way out to the X receiver or Z receiver on the outside to then run a screen. And Justin Watson nearly picked it off. So Cliff wasn't good in the second half, but I still feel like this offense was good enough to have more than 7 points, especially in the first half when you moved the ball consistently how you did. Defensively, again, they played well enough to assist with the victory. I can't ask for more from this defense. I really can't. But back to your main point, Dan Quinn, I love DQ, man. That's the one guy that I know gets it, and he's trying his ass off, and he's just not getting the results from his team. Like, again, I make the connection because that was our last coach, but I couldn't have said the same for Ron Rivera. I couldn't have. I couldn't have said the same thing from Ron Rivera. You could tell Ron Rivera's message was falling on deaf ears. You could tell when he was in and over his head, he just didn't get it. I don't get that same feeling from Dan Quinn. But thanks for the call, my guy. I really do appreciate you.
Yo, Juan, what's up, man? My name's Ian. I'm a Skins fan from northern Indiana.
Hey.
It's just extra frustrating, man. I hate watching my team look like they did tonight, especially when the Colts are doing so well, and I got to hear about it, especially from them Bears fans, too. We got plenty of them around here. I'm honestly pretty pessimistic about the team at this point. Like, just watching a month of losing sucks, but I got to say, like, if we could find out how to put together two halves like we had on defense in the first half, like, gave me a little bit of hope. I think we were moving the ball well. We were stopping them on defense. But I think it's the lack of adjustments at halftime that really grinded my gears tonight, just knowing going into halftime that we were fucked because we were not going to outcoach Andy Reid, and coming out and watching him just lay a fucking egg in the second half, man, that sucked. But still a Skins fan. Appreciate your videos, man. Keep doing your thing. And have a good one.
Man, I know that's tough, man. Hey, I don't know if you're an Indiana fan. Maybe you're an Indiana fan, a Hoosier fan. Y'all are like the best team in college. So if you're an Indiana college fan, you got that. But yeah, I know it's tough, man. Being in Colts territory and watching how successful they have been with Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor, and Jim Irsay, I believe it's his daughter or granddaughter, one of them running the sideline. She's doing a fantastic job. But shout out to the Colts, man. I'm sorry that you have to be there and we're trash and you can't, you know what I'm saying, talk your talk as well. But encouraging, like you said, defensively, I felt like we played well. And if we have this same performance against Seattle, I think we win. I do. We go into the halftime tied 7-7 with the Chiefs. I felt okay with that. Like, I wasn't happy because I know the stuff that we left onto the field in the first half. Again, we should have went to the locker rooms up 21-7. At worst, 9-7. So there were some encouraging moments from this game, and it gives me confidence that Seattle is where we can finally put it together. But again, the injuries gives me the concerns that I've really tried to run away from. But if Jaden Daniels is back, even if Marcus Mariota has to play, I think we get the victory. But it just depends on if Terry McLaurin's out there or however we look, man. But it's a short week. Thanks for the call. And yeah, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro. I really am. Especially for the fans that aren't in the DMV area. So whether you're in a place where the team is doing good in terms of your local team, I feel bad for you, man.
Hey, what's up, Juan? Been watching you for about a year now, you know.
Hey, appreciate that.
Love the videos.
Thank
0
you.
seconds in, already a banger. You already know.
Thank you.
This game, you know, Lattimore got his first pick since 2019. And you know what? That's great. Love seeing him actually do something for once.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know, offense just couldn't capitalize on much of anything this week. Or even in the Cowboys game, too, you know. Just couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
But I can tell you why you couldn't remember what happened in the second half offensively is because the offense basically didn't exist.
Man, I'm telling you.
Anything. But yeah, you know, I was so upset after that Cowboys and Bears loss, you know, especially this whole week, just getting clowned on by my friends who are Cowboys fans. But you know what? At this point, I'm just numb. It's like how it was 2023 and before. Just numb. Just numb. I don't know. I think last season gave us like a glimpse into what the team could be, but we're just so far away from it still, it's not even fun. So I don't know. I think I'm just going to watch these games and just not really expect much of anything. With all that being said, I'm going to go play some Battlefield 6.
Okay.
Go to sleep, wake up tomorrow morning, and throughout the day just see the abundance of Commanders memes, just either clowning on the team or one of my favorite ones being showing like a bunch of montages of LeBron and other athletes, you know, the Commanders when it comes to upsetting their fans and whatnot. Man, hope you have a good day, man, and hope to see your videos tomorrow.
Oh, you made it, my guy. Thank you for the call, and I know you'll have a much more pleasant time playing Battlefield 6 than watching this team. It's frustrating because I'm there with you too, man. I really thought we got rid of that feeling once last year happened, but we're right back to the norm, and that's not expecting nothing from this team, being numb after losses because we've seen it time and time again. And we're just used to being a losing team again. That's what it feels like in the moment. And I know the future is going to still be bright because we have Jaden Daniels, and I believe in Dan Quinn, and I believe in Josh Harris, and I believe in Adam Peters. But in the current state that we're in, I'm right back to where I was before 2024. And it's just going to watch every game with no expectation. And if they win, oh, hey, look, they surprised me. They won. And if they lose, it's like, it's nothing new. You know what I mean? So I hate that we're here, but as I often say, try to keep the positivity going, man, and maybe we can turn it around. Whether it's delusional or wishful thinking, we're going to try to stay positive and pray for the best. But that being said, if you guys want to be featured in the next episode after the Seahawks game, you know what number to call, 240-804-7327. Love each and every one of y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy out there. Peace.
Never gave up ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a line.